Do you want them to apologize? Do you want them to understand what they did wrong? Do you want to punish them? Do you want to let them learn to know you better? Do you want to change the way they're interacting with you now? Okay, with it. Now, Richard also asked, how can I talk about the resentments of my childhood in a way that benefits them instead of giving them guilt? I don't know if I can answer that question, Richard, because it's not a question that's, see, what I would ask if you came to talk to me and you had that question, I would say, first of all, well, what resentments? List them out, man. Write them down. Okay. So that you know what they are, because each of those resentments is going to be a different thing. And the strategy that's associated with each might vary as a consequence of the particularity of the resentment. So I would say you should start by writing them down. Like, what's your problem exactly? Write that down. And then see which ones are still living. And then you have to figure out, well, what do you want from your parents exactly? Do you want them to apologize? Do you want them to understand what they did wrong? Do you want to punish them? Do you want to let them learn to know you better? Do you want to change the way they're interacting with you now? Do you want to learn your own lessons from your bad experience so that when you're a parent, you don't make the same mistake? Do you merely want to have a chance to express yourself? Like, it's very difficult to answer your question because I don't know what your goal is, right? So, and I don't need to know, you need to know. What are the resentments? So we can walk through the process we already described. Lay them out. And comprehensively, you might want to make a list of everything that you think you might conceivably be annoyed about with regards to your parents, no matter how trivial, right? Because that way you scour your memory for things that you're holding onto in a bitter way. And maybe you have your justification. I'm not suggesting that you don't, but you need to discover what baggage you're carrying. Then you have to figure out, well, what can I let go of? And what's core? And I would say what's really core is if there are ways that your parents treated you that are still affecting you or that are affecting your relationships with them now, those really need to be dealt with because they're not done. They're not in the past, right? They're not even resentments of your childhood. They're still part of your ongoing life. Okay, so now you have all your resentments laid out. I guess I would say, something like, look, Mom and Dad, there's something I need to talk to you about that's been bothering me for a long time. And I'd pick one of the more trivial things to begin with. Like, here's a memory I have, and don't get all high and mighty about it because, you might have misconstrued the situation as a child. It's highly probable, and they may have had their reasons, and you may not even remember the situation, let's say, correctly, or the way they remember it. You say, well, here's something that happened when I was a kid, and it still bothers me. And do you remember what happened? That's an open-ended question. Do you remember what happened? Why did this go this way? And then I would do an awful lot of listening, because you are trying to gather information. And the more your parents can tell you about what happened in those situations, I would say the better off you're likely to be. So that's about all I can say about that. That's a fairly delineated approach to general discussions about difficult things, right? But I would say don't be more afraid of engaging in this process than you are afraid of not engaging in it. Like, every relationship you have is going to have problems in it. And, you don't want to jump to a intense psychological discussion with every little bump. But if there's something of medium to long-term permanence that's disturbing you, or a pattern that repeats itself at least 3 times, let's say, well, then that might be something that's worthy of discussion, or your discovery that you're, very dissatisfied with the way the relationship is going. And you have to have the conflict necessary to sort that out. And it's going to be conflict with you and the person that you're talking to, but the aim should be the establishment of something like fully informed, fully negotiated, medium to long-term peace. That's what you're aiming at, if you have any sense.
지금부터 켈리가 읽어주는 성공 비밀이 완벽하게 내 것이 되도록 부의 마인드 웰싱크를 장착하시고 노트에 필사해주세요. 한글 5번, 영어 5번입니다. 시작합니다.
나는 마음속에 부정적인 과거를 비우고 웰싱킹으로 가득 채웁니다.
I clear my mind by letting go of the past and have full of well thinking.
나는 마음속에 부정적인 과거를 비우고 웰싱킹으로 가득 채웁니다.
I clear my mind by letting go of the past and have full of well thinking.
나는 마음속에 부정적인 과거를 비우고 웰싱킹으로 가득 채웁니다.
I clear my mind by letting go of the past and have full of well thinking.
나는 마음속에 부정적인 과거를 비우고 웰싱킹으로 가득 채웁니다.
I clear my mind by letting go of the past and have full of well thinking.
나는 마음속에 부정적인 과거를 비우고 웰싱킹으로 가득 채웁니다.
I clear my mind by letting go of the past and have full of well thinking.
매일 동기부여 모닝콜을 필사하며 성공 비밀을 씹어 먹을 것을 결단하시고 행동하세요. 당신이 결단을 내린 순간 당신의 성공 확률은 100% 올라갑니다. 당신은 반드시 성공할 사람입니다. 주변 사람들의 성공을 도우면 나의 성공률이 훨씬 높아집니다. 빨리 주변 사람들을 초대하여 성공률을 빠르게 높여주세요. 좋아요, 구독, 알림 설정은 이 모닝콜을 함께 제작하는 20명이 넘는 재능 기부자들과 켈리에게 큰 힘을 줍니다. 사랑합니다.